Most DIY projects don't collapse because of lack of skill. They don't fail because someone doesn't own the right tools. They fail quietly, slowly, through small workshop mistakes that feel harmless in the moment but compound over time. A rushed measurement here, a dull blade there, a decision made while tired, a detail ignored because it probably won't matter. And that is how good ideas turn into frustrating results. Many builders begin with enthusiasm, but without clarity. Starting a project without mentally walking through every step invites confusion later. When you don't fully visualize the process, you are forced to make important decisions in the middle of execution, and decisions made under pressure are rarely good ones. Clean builds almost always begin with quiet planning. A few minutes of thinking can prevent hours of correction. Have you ever started confidently, only to realize halfway through that something doesn't align? Rushing the first cuts is another common trap. The beginning of a project sets the tone for everything that follows. If the first measurements are slightly off, every piece after that becomes an adjustment. Instead of building forward, you begin compensating. Professionals move slowly at the beginning so they can move smoothly at the end. Precision early creates freedom later. Ignoring material behavior is a silent destroyer of projects. Wood moves. It expands and contracts with humidity and temperature. When that reality is ignored, cracks appear months later, joints separate, panels warp. The project may look perfect at completion, but fail over time. Respecting material movement is not advanced knowledge. It is fundamental awareness. Dull tools quietly ruin accuracy. A blade that should glide begins to burn. A chisel that should slice begins to crush fibers. Extra force is applied, and with extra force comes loss of control. Clean work depends less on power and more on sharpness. Maintaining tools is not optional maintenance. It is part of craftsmanship. Another hidden mistake is measuring from inconsistent reference points. Switching edges while measuring introduces compounding error. The difference may be small at first, but by the time assembly begins, nothing sits square. Consistency eliminates chaos. Choose one reference face and stay disciplined. Cutting everything to final size too early removes flexibility. When parts are trimmed precisely before dry assembly, there is no margin for adjustment. Leaving pieces slightly oversized provides protection against small inaccuracies. Flexibility is not weakness, it is insurance. Skipping test cuts feels efficient, but it is usually expensive. A quick trial on scrap material reveals setup problems before they affect your final piece. It takes minutes and saves materials, confidence, and time. Builders who skip this step often learn the hard way. Overcomplicating a design is another subtle mistake. Adding extra features, unnecessary angles, decorative elements that increase risk without improving structure. These decisions multiply potential failure points. Simplicity is often stronger, cleaner, and more durable. If you removed one non-essential detail from your design, would it actually look better? Working in poor lighting hides flaws. Shadows conceal tear out. Dust disguises scratches. Glue residue becomes visible only after finishing. Proper lighting transforms the workshop into a place of clarity instead of guesswork. Many projects are damaged by something even more basic: fatigue. The final hour of a long session is where careless mistakes happen. Edges are miscut. Parts are flipped incorrectly. Safety habits slip. Knowing when to stop working is one of the most underrated skills in DIY. Have you ever ruined something near the end of a long day because you wanted to just finish it? Forcing parts to fit rarely works. When something resists alignment, pushing harder usually causes more damage. Professionals pause. They analyze. They adjust the cause instead of attacking the symptom. Force creates new problems. Correction solves the real one. Glue is another area where excess creates weakness. More glue does not equal more strength. Too much adhesive prevents proper clamping pressure and creates messy squeeze-out that interferes with finishing. Controlled application produces stronger joints and cleaner results. Ignoring grain direction leads to tear-out, weak joints, and uneven finishes. Grain awareness changes how tools interact with material. It influences appearance, durability, and structural strength. Yet many beginners treat wood as if it were uniform. It is not. Skipping dry assembly locks mistakes permanently. A quick test fit reveals alignment issues before glue removes your ability to adjust. This one small habit can transform your entire workflow. Comparing your work to perfectly edited social media projects is another quiet mistake. You see flawless results, but you don't see the failed prototypes or rebuilt components behind the scenes. Comparison drains motivation and creates unrealistic expectations. Progress matters more than perfection. Disorganization slows thinking. When tools are misplaced and materials are stacked randomly, mental energy is wasted searching. That wasted energy leads to rushed decisions. A clear workspace produces clearer judgment. Applying finishes too heavily is a frequent error. Thick coats drip, cure unevenly, and trap dust. Thin, patient applications almost always produce superior results. Rushing finishing is like running the final lap too fast and collapsing before the line. Humidity and temperature are often ignored. Adhesives and finishes behave differently depending on environment. Professionals adjust timing rather than forcing progress. Patience protects results. Neglecting tool calibration introduces invisible inaccuracies. A fence slightly misaligned or a blade slightly angled may not be obvious at first, but over multiple cuts, error compounds. Precision depends on maintenance. Perhaps the most damaging mistake of all is refusing to analyze failures. When something goes wrong, many builders blame materials or tools. Fewer pause to ask what decision led to the outcome. Growth begins when mistakes are studied instead of dismissed. If you're still listening, you probably care deeply about improving your work. That mindset alone separates you from casual builders. On this channel, the goal is not flashy tutorials or rushed builds. It's thoughtful improvement, the kind that transforms frustration into confidence over time. If that approach resonates with you, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next long-form workshop breakdown. Here is the deeper truth. DIY failure is rarely dramatic. It is gradual. It is a series of small compromises. Each shortcut seems harmless. Each skip check feels minor. Each rush step feels justified. But together, they shape the outcome. The difference between amateur frustration and professional results is not expensive equipment. It is awareness. Awareness of when to slow down. Awareness of when to stop. Awareness of material behavior, tool condition, lighting, environment, and personal energy. Every project contains lessons. The builders who improve are not the ones who never make mistakes. They are the ones who recognize patterns. They notice where projects stall. They notice which steps consistently create problems. And then they adjust, remove recurring mistakes one by one, and the process becomes smoother, cleaner, more predictable, more enjoyable. The goal is not perfection. The goal is fewer regrets. And that begins with recognizing the small workshop mistakes that quietly ruin projects and choosing deliberately to eliminate them.